Good morning, some, or good night to others. It is February 3rd, 2023. And I just realized, first of all, this broadcast is titled Deaf Ears. The description is, if I'm not mistaken, Deceptions of the Heart. Um, I have a reason for speaking about this. I just happen to have when you have those moments in which where like you think everybody hears what the next person is saying, and I tend to believe people have selective hearing, just like I have selective hearing, but it's more so no connection and no relationship to people that just as they say, live in their own worlds. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't be a supporter of that idea. I'm just gonna say that that's not something that I would practice. But I happen to have a um a heartfelt concern about deaf ears. Um, Maybe I think it's because growing up, people just choose to not. We're gonna do what we want to do. Or is it doing what we want to do, or following the footsteps of our fathers and mothers and mothers and fathers? Now, I'm speaking on this for the whole population that seems to think that this doesn't impact or affect anybody else. The cause for me to actually speak to you about this whole subject is because I hear what I want to hear. This is the main reason for me, like taking a look around the corner, but still looking forward. If this makes any kind of relevance to everybody. Also, I must say that I am the founder of Bama Know the Walk to Talk to Talk. If you don't know about this by now, take a look at lessons.com with my name. You can go to Meta or Facebook with my name, or you can go to nextdoor.com with my name, and also Instagram with my name. And you will see some things that are slowly but surely taking shape, form, and the main reason why I would say that some of these things are sort of main points why what goes around comes around. That necessarily doesn't mean that whoever it is that is important or unimportant in our lives, in our business, in our families. But the idea, what I'm trying to get across here is falling on deaf ears. I mean, we all have these things. But the sad thing about it is, I don't think most of us can remember conversations we had 12 hours ago. But everybody wants to get paid for 8 hours, yes? And more. So, scratching the computer a little bit. So my question is, how are we going to get the rent paid if we're not putting in the time to create that type of impact? Because if if for the most part, I'm going to put myself in a position where these things don't help me out. The other brown juice tea. So, and that's just for some of the people that, that are into that fixation about red cups and stuff. Where I come from, red is sometimes necessarily a vital and very, very vivacious vacuuming thing. All right, I'm going to say that for those of you that are in the know, that understand the red lines, because we are real property. So forget that. That's another blog or people talk subject. No, I'm saying that because I just realized the category of most of these lives on YouTube are, or maybe it was my selection, people and blogs. Um, I wouldn't say this is too much of a blog. I don't even know what that is. My former toddler stepson said that, you know, just gonna look into things to do for a living. I said, you better start now because your former stepdad is doing things. But let me say this: yes, I'm a brand owner, a small business owner, a manager, but at the same time, all of this is falling on deaf ears. Because, all right, for instance, as far as I'm concerned, the second annual association with ATF Fashion House, right? They're having their New York Fashion Week theme. Okay? So I don't have a problem with these things. What I'm realizing is you can be on these things right here, and because there's so many of these, well, do we ever talk about the 360 eyes that we all have? But yet, for some reason, it's like we all have these surrogate foreign bodies, or I call them, sporadic free radicals that take away from moving forward because we're falling on deaf ears. And we're going side to side. So, some of us aren't even professional athletes, but we're unilateral all the time. We drive ourselves forward, we move forward in our vehicles, but yet we forget to tune these things up. Just got faster. The Eero Pro 6E is our most advanced Wi-Fi system yet, with support for and Wi-Fi 6E more than 100 I just plus speeds up to a gigabit and beyond. I'm curious to know. That's EERO.com. As an adult or as a grown person, because I've heard this phrase said before. Or are we the type of folks that have too much on our minds that we really don't even think about the fine lines that we create? Not, excuse me, not the ones that we cross. Because, in between the left ear and the right ear, I do believe that this super ego that we have, or that they say we have, is the very thing that gets in our way. Or I should say, it gets in my way. Look, I don't think I'm having any type of progress here. But this is not for expectations. I used to know somebody that used to say to me, "Well, I don't accept any of your gifts. I want something that you can't give." Well, I thought for at that time that I was hearing, I was listening. This is a way of me just coming out forward and just speaking. All right. Um I use this as a sense and a means to speak to people that don't speak back. You understand? So if you do understand, then I'm not being confusing here, am I? Some of you that might think you're professionals, or let me just, you have your PhDs in experts at nothing. I say that experts at nothing because I don't even consider myself one. Because we stay making those same very mistakes. And now you have me wondering, oh, why is Ramos Clark Gaston doing a people blog on YouTube about deaf ears? And then naming or titling the broadcast on this YouTube, Falling on Deaf Ears. And then the description about it is Deceptions of the Heart. I'm only saying this because it's like, what what other things need to happen for us to say, well, I'm gonna put my foot down on this floor. I'm gonna put my foot down on this floor so hard that even though I'm moving at 10 miles an hour, because when I was like ignorant, and I still consider myself to just because if you don't, if I'm gonna say it to you like this, if my age doesn't matter, then yours should be so important. You should be able to lend me $500,000 because you can't tell me at my age or at any age that possibly can understand this subject matter or topic of this broadcast is not for children. And if it is for children, you're an impersonator or I'm an impersonator. But let me give you some information based off of text, and then we can say that Ramos Gaston is just like doesn't know what he's talking about. All right. So all right. So now I'm not gonna read it verbatim because there are certain words. If you're not the type of person that takes the time out and you're one of those catchphrase individuals that you know the first thing that the only thing that you can identify with or hear is language like, oh, what's popping, fire, fuego, kiss my, suck my, you, female dog, gardening tool, man named Dick. I do believe we're going to live in a time where a female is going to be called that because they already call themselves that. You got girlfriends or you have sisters, right? They pretty much, they say these things like it has no type of, it's like they're saying like, oh, 10 years from now, you know, I want suffering and I want pain. Pain in my hearing, losing, and then suffering that, I can't deal with the reality that it's not helping or supporting this thing we call anatomy. Not getting off the subject, guys. Not getting off the subject at all. Point in case. It went gone like that. Because my teacher over there, he handles all the heavy work. Okay? I do the light work. That's why I'm a light master. I know it's funny. Everybody goes through this phase. It's no big thing. I'm not looking for it to make it small talk either. So, with that, I just wanted to say, what's really going on? If everything is falling on deaf ears, then that must mean we're popping, right? We're alive. Yeah, we're alive. But two sides of a coin and two sides of a gecko. This is where I'm talking because presently speaking, if you go to Instagram Live just today, not too long ago, you'll see on the live that my little friend doesn't have these. So you probably wondering how me and this little friend get along. Falling on deaf ears. And how do we sort of get the point of what I'm for the last 15, 16 minutes I've been speaking on to people about. So most times I confuse people. I confuse people that confuse themselves. I'll never forget the person tells me, I get remarks. And my answer to this is possibly this was an argument. Yes, it was a domestic conversation. Yeah, I get remarks, but that particular one, I'm not too happy about getting, like bruised up because, your mind is like so like this and mine is so like that, and you just having fun. This is your way of having fun. And I do believe most affairs happen because people just want to have fun. When these two things on the sides of my head doesn't say that they ever said I will never support you. If ears had lips, boy, would not shut up. In a way, I guess they don't. But let me not go too far with that. Let me just say that the reason that I am doing this, and it's like, yes, it's going into like 12 minutes after 3 a.m., and it is February 4th, 2023. I don't like the fact that most times when you try to communicate with folks, most times when things happen in that fashion, I'm going to tell you this much. Everybody's looking for a payment. And this is where I get myself like into, I guess, a lot of not a lot, but this is where I realize as people, suffering and pain will always be associated with being human because humans cannot allow things to pick up on the voices that they hear. We're too busy trying to pick each other up. Like when I say pick up, I'm not talking in no sense that, all right, if you're from a particular family, then that's gonna take you somewhere where I don't think you want to be right now. Right now, you probably want to be in your bed, or you want to be somewhere where there's a lot of alcohol or something. Period. I'm just saying because I used to like drinking alcohol a lot. So I'm just saying, just for lack of a better word and lack of knowledge or GPS or geography, geography, geographically speaking, I don't know what some of you are doing, but this is what I'm doing. So I figure like this: as a forensic peer specialist for life, um, do understand, Bummer, the active wear is not just the active wear to get in the gym or get you behind to walk down the boardwalk and clear your mind or clear your heart. But once again, let me say this going into 20 minutes because I want to go watch something and do something else because I think I'm probably boring you guys. But yeah, let's make it a habit to, you know, pick ourselves up and listen to the sounds of our footsteps as we take this walk. Remember, know the walk to talk the talk. And as always, loving kind, protecting your lifestyle. Thank you.